another huge game, another benchmark game actually.
Yeah.
Featuring very similarly one team who looked really good this year outside of one game, and one team who we're still trying to figure out what they are. And that is the Houston Texans heading to Kansas City. Paul, what is your lean in this really big AFC matchup? I mean, for the Texans, a win here puts them at 4-2 and in firm control of that division, even with how well the Colts have been playing. And for the Chiefs, I mean, are they going to lose back-to-back games, or what are we going to see out of a Chiefs team that's really struggled to run the ball and stop the run this season?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. I mean, the Chiefs look like they have Tyreek Hill coming back, so that could be huge for them. That would completely change the offense. Hopefully, Patrick Mahomes has healed from getting his ankle stepped on a couple times in the last few weeks. So, I think this is just going to be an offensive battle. I mean, you have Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. Kind of a dream matchup if you were thinking of young quarterbacks in the game right now. If you ask me,
Deshaun was unbelievable last week.
I think these two are undoubtedly the future of the league. I don't think there's any other quarterback in these two class that's young right now. So I'm super excited to see this game. And I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be an offensive showdown. Tons of points scored, but I have Kansas City coming out with the win. I mean, Chiefs at home, that's a tall task alone. But when it's a high-powered offense like the Texans have, it'll make it really interesting. But the Texans secondary scares me a little bit. I don't think they have what it takes to shut down Kansas City. Their line plays all right. I mean, J.J. Watt's past his prime a little bit, I'd say. But he can still get to the quarterback when he needs to. Not as great against the run, but that's not as big for Kansas City anyways. So, yeah, these teams match up well for an entertaining game. But I think what it's going to come down to is Deshaun having to prove himself against Patrick Mahomes this whole game. I think that'll be the big comparison coming out of it.
I think
so. Do you think that Deshaun can show that he, on any given Sunday, can be the best quarterback in the league over Patrick Mahomes, or what are you thinking?
I think this is going to be a really interesting game, and the reason is because the Texans' pass defense is so terrible. They're 25th in the NFL right now, that the Chiefs are going to put up points on them.
Mm-hmm.
The area where this game will get interesting, and it's kind of funny because you're asking me, how is Deshaun going to look against Mahomes? The way the Texans are going to win this game is if they can run the ball. They're a top 10 rushing offense, and they're going against I believe the 29th rushing defense for the Chiefs. The Chiefs' rushing defense has been horrible this year. The 30th rushing defense. If the Texans can establish the run and run the ball on the Chiefs, I think that'll be the difference in if this game's close or not, which is really funny because we're going to all hype it up as Deshaun versus Mahomes, but it's really going to come down to the Texans' offensive line and Carlos Hyde up against the Chiefs' revamped defensive line with Frank Clark. Frank Clark has disappointed me this year a lot for the Chiefs. I thought he would be a lot better when they traded for him from Seattle. I thought he'd be a big upgrade on Dee Ford, and so far he hasn't really been that. I think this is the game for Frank Clark to kind of show why they gave up what they did in that first-round pick to go get him. I think this is the game for him to make a huge impact because, like, when you look at the offenses, the passing games I feel like are almost going to cancel each other out. It'll really come down to which team can run the ball better. Mm-hmm. And, this is a huge game for the Chiefs to see if what the Colts did on Sunday night is a blueprint for beating them, or if it was just kind of a misnomer. You're not going to go 16-0 every year. Every once in a while, you're going to lose to a bad team. Or a good team. It's just kind of how the league goes.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be an exciting one in Kansas City. Definitely going to be keeping my eye on that one for sure. I know you will be too, Paul. Let's